And Dariana Lozano.
Yeah,
How are you, Dariana?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good, good. Dariana is a digital marketing strategist. She's also an influencer for social media today. She's in New York City, which New York right now is really having a rough time with this
Yeah,
COVID-19. How are you doing in general, like with all that?
I mean, it's been, first week. I work from home, so the quarantine part to me wasn't the hardest. So the first week or so we stayed in. I went out to get some vitamins. My neighborhood is small, so I'm in New York City, but I'm in Upper Manhattan, so it's not like Times Square, So we have
Yeah.
my neighborhood is very neighborhoody. Like there's children and dogs, and but there's one strip where all the businesses are, like one street. And I went over there to get vitamins, and people were like still out, and I was so creeped out by it. I was like walking around people. I mean, this was like 2.5 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago now. So it was when this whole thing kind of was first starting. And I've left the house maybe twice after that, or once actually. We've been getting our groceries delivered. But yeah, we're getting slammed here, and it's really like, if people don't think it's serious, like it's awful. And all the stories that we're not seeing come out in the news, there's just so many little things that are not being talked about in the news that we're seeing here just from stories from friends or my social media networks, and it's just really devastating what's happening. So take it seriously, please, everybody. Even if you're in rural areas, like, just be cautious and wash your hands and stay away from other people.
Wash your hands. Yeah. I've seen your post and you're like begging people to stay home and
Yeah.
I've seen pictures. I don't know, I mean, I don't know how accurate everything is, but it just looks like people are still out. I think it was a park. I think that's where I saw
Yeah.
like so many people at the park.
Yeah.
It,
I mean,
it's
you can take a walk. Like, I've been, I have some friends in the medical field. So I'm like, I haven't left the house in 20 days. They're like, you can take a walk. Like, go outside and get fresh air. I'm like, I have windows open. They're like, no, you can go outside. You can take a walk, get some sun, but just
yeah,
don't converge. So we're in small apartments. People do go out to the park. Personally, I'm just so like creeped out by everybody that I'm like, ew. I'm not going
yeah,
outside. But yes, people do take walks. I think the parks is, we're used to just heading to the parks. So I think that's hard to stay away from people while you're there. There's people jogging, people with their dogs. So I think people try as best they can, but I'm just staying in, not dealing with anyone.
yeah. And I don't blame you.
Yeah.
I don't blame you at all. How is your business right
Yeah.
now with everything that
So,
you kind of are going through a transition anyhow with your
yes.
business,
Yeah.
right?
So
And
it's
it's been a secret.
yes. So I
So I'll
rebranded
let
my
you share
business.
that.
Rebranding my whole business. We've changed names, changed how it's set up, and all of that stuff. So it's now Block and Ave. And we were going to pivot the customers that we go after, because right now we do have mostly clients in hospitality. So restaurants, a celebrity chef, a billiards club. We work with a real estate company, but that one is not really as affected. It's
Yeah.
like building sales, so they're not as affected. But we helped some of our clients pivot, so some of them were able to switch over to delivery. One restaurant in particular was like a sit-down restaurant, and they are wood oven, and it's an amazing restaurant. It's called the Marshall in Hell's Kitchen, and it's delicious. And we spoke to the chef before about doing wood oven pies, like pizza pies, and he was like never really into the idea. 2 days after they got shut down, he's like, all right, we're doing pizza. So it's been an interesting process helping our businesses figure this whole thing out and how to pivot very quickly, because it was like you had to make a choice. And so unfortunately, we are not unaffected by businesses closing, because we have lost, or we're on pause with clients that have not been able to keep up and just have shut the doors. Like one of our restaurants did go to pizza. The other one is called Flip Siggy in the West Village, and it was a very small space to begin with. So for them to transition to takeout was not that difficult.
Yeah.
For them, it was like a no-brainer. And now they started a Feed Our Warriors campaign. So they're actually delivering food to the frontline workers in hospitals all over New York City. So we've helped them develop that as well. So it's, it's a little give and take. So we have been hit, but we're also doing great things with the people that have been able to stay open.
Oh, that's good. That's good. I know when I see what's going on in New York in general,
Yes.
I'm always, worried about you and
Aww.
what's going on, and I wondered how it impacted your business, because I think all of us, you're not alone.
Yeah.
I have clients who are on pause. Last week, I had some other people who were on here, and they also, we get it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's what's happening. So we're totally fine with it. I mean,
Yeah.
you have to
be. You either have to adapt and switch, or if you have employees, sometimes you have to make that choice to close and let them collect unemployment if that's easier. I know there's a lot of small business loans happening right now, but there's so much confusion with the PPP loans and the IDL and how much money you're getting and how much is going to get forgiven. It's hard. So I'm going through that process as well. So it's just been a whirlwind. Second week this was going on, I'm going to admit that anxiety took over, because my mom's in that population that's, higher risk. And I was having trouble getting her to stay inside.
Me too. My dad was so stubborn. He would not stay in.
I know. She's like, and I'm like, let me get the groceries delivered to your house. And she's like, no, you need to take a walk anyway. And I'm like, but that's not the please. That's not how it works. So I went through that whole period. I was super anxious, literally was just had to process the whole thing. I've been meditating more than I've ever had in my life, and just had to work through it. And even with my own personal projects, I'm pushing through and still continuing them, but I did need to take that time to process everything. So if you're in that boat, take the time, just let things kind of settle in, get your mindset right, and then decide what you want to do, because I don't think there's a wrong answer, but I'm pushing. I want people to still do what they want to do. If you still feel called to get your business out there, do it, because you also don't want to play catch up once this thing is over. It's going to be over. We don't know what that new normal is going to be like. I don't think we're going back to how life was before anytime soon. So it's just a big transition, I think, for everyone.
I agree. And I like what you said, is that if, if you want to get that business out there, I think right now, and I don't know if you're hearing the same thing, but I hear people saying, you know what, I've had this business idea and now I really want to work on it. Like now is the time, because I have this extra time. I've been putting it on the back burner, for a year, a few years, however long. And now I have this extra time, and now I want to work on this business that I've always wanted to do. Are you hearing that too from people?
Yes, I am hearing that a lot. Even when I put the call outs, I was telling people in my network, if you need help pivoting your business, just send me a message. We'll chat through it. I'm not going to charge you for a consultation. I'm just let's just figure it out. And I did get messages from people that were confused on how to do it, or I've been thinking about this one thing. And now I have the time. And that's the thing. I think people are always asking for time. And if you're healthy and now you have the time, try it. It's your time to learn new things. A lot of companies are putting things out for free or discounted. So I think, a lot of us are conscious of what's happening and, just trying to help people figure it out during this time.
I did the same thing. And I know I mentioned it last week. I reached out to all my past clients, people who I don't work with anymore. And I actually spoke to one woman, and I got great responses, right? And some were like, no, I'm good. Thanks for reaching out. But one I spoke to today, and she was so appreciative. And, she's like, I just need 15 minutes. Well, there's no such thing. We ended up talking for 45 minutes, but I loved it. I really, I loved it. And I think she enjoyed it too. And it was a good feeling for me too, to say, I want to help you out, and I want to, just get you to work through this time period, and I had another one reach out to me, a message, and saying, okay, listen, again, now's the time. I know I've said I'm going to do this, and now I think it's ready to do it. So now when you have these businesses, and I know this is a really open question, you can go anywhere, right?
Yeah.
What do you do if I have this business idea that I wanted to start? Where do I start?
I know. And I think that, if you have a service-based business like Deanna, you're showing up and you're serving, and people need it right now. Like, I think a lot of people just, like you said, they just don't know where to start. They don't know where to go. I had someone message me because I had been on live, and they were like, thank you so much for just saying the things that you did, because I was in that position where I was thinking like, oh my gosh, this market is very saturated. But I'm like, no, it's not. So I think people just have beliefs they have to work through. And, if you're serving, Deanna, you're a great example of showing up for your audience and serving. You're going to help people. So don't be afraid to put your business out there. I mean, if you want to start, hit up Deanna or me. We can help you.
I wasn't going there, but
I mean, we're here, we're serving. I love helping people. You love helping people. You have great programs that have to do with goal setting and really getting your business off the ground that way. But if, Deanna's there for that. But if you need social media help, you can reach out to me.
Ariana's there for that. Help her, reach out to her.
And this one for your goals, or this, I don't know which one, right? Yeah. So I think, look for the information, and if one of us comes across your feeds and you feel called or compelled to work with us, just reach out. We're really nice.
We really are. And I mean, I think we're both really easy to work with. I know you and I hit it off.
Yeah, immediately,
right? Immediately.
Laughed for hours. The first day that I actually, I had been to Ohio and I met Deanna, but didn't really get to chat with her. So this year when I was there, she was kind enough to offer to drive me to the conference, and we just stuck together. It's like we were friends since birth. It was amazing.
That's so true. I think we went everywhere, right? We had lunch, we did the conference, we went out to dinner and drinks after.
I hijacked you for that whole 2-day span while I was there.
It was fun. But I want to talk about, you have a free workshop coming up too. So if somebody is thinking about, well, even if you have a business, right, you want some help, you need some direction, tell me a little bit about this free workshop that you have.
So this was the workshop that I was like, do I still do it? What do I do? So the workshop is all about beating the algorithm, specifically more on Instagram, and how to generate more leads from your social media accounts. Again, it's more specific to Instagram, because I started late last year. I launched a mastermind that was kind of one-on-one coaching and walking you through my course that helps you build a social media strategy. So I took it one step further and offered group calls and one-on-one calls, and my clients are seeing such great results that
is awesome.
I was so excited to put it out again. But this time I decided to start with the workshop because I think it's a great lead generator. So if you're in business and you want to sell something, workshops, I think, are a great way to do that. So the workshop is April 21st, and I'm going to show you how to beat the algorithm. I have a sign here. Beat the algorithm, increase your leads by 500% in just 2 weeks. My client completely turned around her Instagram game. She was posting on Instagram for a long time, wasn't seeing anything. She went from getting 1 or 2 messages every other week to 3 messages every single time she posts, which is an incredible amount of growth for someone that didn't know what they were doing at all before and were kind of just posting. And now she's generating all these leads for her business. So I was just so happy, and I was like, people need this right now, and I need to.
They really do. Yes, absolutely. Do you have a link? Can you type the link into?
I'll put it. Yeah, let me. So this thing here is not showing me, but let me go on your.
See if you can find it. Well, Ariana looks for that. Hopefully she'll put the link in there. If not, I will just put it in the comments and share her free workshop. It is an awesome workshop. I have not taken it, but I think I might hop in on this one and join you and hear what you have to say, because I am on Instagram and I am starting to do more on Instagram.
Yeah, I think you're gonna
like it. I like it.
I put it in the host chat here because I can't find. It's not letting me do it.
That's okay. Let me see if I can. Okay, I've got it. I see it here. So
okay. Thank you. Sorry, I'm sometimes I don't know computers.
No, you're cool. In fact, it's not letting me copy it, which is okay. That's kind of weird. I'm going to add it though. I will definitely add it in the public, in the comments, and so that you guys can join it and join me during her workshop. I'm not doing anything. I'm just going to listen. I'm going to be a student in your free
one. I'm so excited. It's, it's a new format for me. I worked with a coach myself, and I just encourage people, if you're having trouble with something, reach out for help. I worked with a coach, and she's been, encouraging me to do this workshop, and I'm finally getting it out there. So it's a new format that I've learned from her. And like I said, coaching, I think, is so important. Before I did my talks on stage, I got a public speaking coach. And then, with just accelerating my business, I felt the need to work on messaging and things like that. So that's what my coach helped me with. And the way that I've structured this is just, I think it's going to sink into your minds a little bit easier than before. Yeah. I'm just so excited to put this one out. I really haven't ever been this excited to put something out. So
that's awesome. And I wish you could share the link, right?
You'll get it. If I can, maybe I can Facebook message it to you, and then you'll be able to copy.
Yeah, see if you can. If you can send it to me in a message, then I can copy it there. I don't know why I can't. Here we go. All right. I've got it. But yeah, I am looking forward to this as well. I can't wait. Here we go. There's a little bit of a delay.
That's all right. Thank you for sharing with your people, Deanna.
Yes, no problem. There it is. It's in the comment section. It's a link to sign up for her free workshop. If you are on Instagram, if you're thinking of Instagram, Deanna is going to be sharing how to get leads, right? Increase your leads.
Yay, Becky. Okay.
By 50 or 500%.
Yeah, what my client went from from one message every other week or every week to 3 times every time she posts. 3 messages every time she posts, which is huge. Like that's how you build a business.
Well, you know what? On Instagram right now, it's not about the likes, because those are going away.
Yes.
So it's not about how many likes you get anymore. It's about how are people engaging with you, and messages, saves, right? Those are the things that are really important. So you want people to start reaching out. Obviously, you want to close business. You're not posting just for the fun of it, right? You want to close business.
Yeah, we're not all just like lifestyle bloggers that want like I have to actually get people into my programs, and that's not happening and I call it, I'm going to give you a little sneak peek, but it's like the old way of using social media. I've been doing this for 10 years, and I've seen things not change, and I caught myself doing things that don't really make sense for how social media works right now. And that was like the inspiration behind doing the program the way that I did. Like, for example, using quotes. Like, we love quotes. They get a lot of engagement, but then what was I actually getting from them? That's what I stopped to think about. What is this engagement actually doing for me? Well, I wasn't doing much, because it's just like, it's great for engagement, but what else? Like I wanted to message me. I wanted to bring people in. So that's a little sneak peek, but we're going to talk about more things that you should stop doing, things that don't work anymore, that we're kind of just used to doing because that's the way social media worked before. But remember, the algorithm came in and like changed everything. So we're going to talk about
changing. Yeah, that's been changing a lot. I know I shared in Fearless Entrepreneurship, the Facebook group, that now you can watch live IGTV on your desktop.
Yep, and you can do messages too, which is so convenient.
Right?
So much more convenient.
I know, because I'm somebody who I don't like typing on my phone. And I know somebody made that comment that they don't like typing on their phone either. They rather type from a laptop or a desktop.
And I'm that person. Yeah, and if you have to share a link or something like that, it's so much easier on your computer. Or even now, where if you are going to start getting 500 more leads to your DMs, it'll be easier to talk to people through a computer than like on the phone.
Yeah. Definitely. I think that's good. I'm over here looking on the back end of BeLive. If anybody uses BeLive, they have just added a couple widgets
Ooh, that's fun.
Yeah, so you could put like the temperature and it looks like, I'm not Celsius, but yeah, so I'm over here, I'm playing around. And I like this one, right? How many days in quarantine?
Oh, that's so
I have no
fun.
idea what that day is, right? But
Have you been leaving your, how's quarantine where you are? Because I know you're in a lot smaller of a area.
yeah, in Montana, it's not bad. I think
Yeah.
there are about 350
Okay.
cases.
Yeah.
So nothing compared to New York.
Yeah.
And Ohio, which is where I'm from, Ohio, I'm from Youngstown, and
Yeah.
that area is getting hit kind of hard with it, but nothing like New York,
Yeah.
compared to New York. So
Well, we're all
yeah,
on top of each
here
other.
it just feels like you're watching it,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and it's a little bit more rural. So
I kind of get that feeling sometimes here, just because I haven't left my apartment. I feel like I'm like, oh my gosh, what's happening? I do hear more sirens go by than usual, and but it's kind of weird as well, because it's like, oh, we haven't left. We don't know what outside is like right now.
Yeah, no, Becky, now all we need to do is be able to post on Instagram from your desktop.
Yeah.
I know. And you know what? I don't know. And I'm going to throw this out there. When I upload, because I record these videos and then I share it, and I always have to do it twice to upload the video to IGTV, and I do it from my desktop.
Yeah.
Because these will all be uploaded into YouTube. And it needs to be, I need to do it twice. The first time it always says it failed. And then
That's
like,
so annoying. Yeah.
yeah.
I could see that for sure.
Yeah. So I'm like, I don't know if they're too long or what, but it does work the second time, but it is annoying. And yes, I agree with you, Becky.
I'd love to be able to
post.
Yeah. And I know people were using the Creator Studio, but I know they were having some issues with it. So I haven't messed with that recently anymore. Just kind of letting people let me know what's going on with it. I'm still posting manually.
So far, I've used the Creator Studio, and I do use it, not exclusively, but I mix content up, and it's been working okay with me. I haven't had it glitched up at all. Things have been posting when they need to post, so it has been a solid solution. If anybody is thinking about using the Creator Studio, in Facebook, if you go to your publishing tools, you'll see Creator Studio in there, and you're able to post to Facebook and Instagram. Oh, Becky's saying, don't get me started on Creator Studio. I will say that now that comments should be they can switch it up, but like in your first post, later does let you do that. I'm kind of laughing because I know Becky, I think, was the one that actually told me about Creator Studio, or like we initially had the conversation. She loved it, and now but I do, like I said, I do change it up because I still have. I use Planoly. I like Planoly as well.
Planoly, actually, I have a photographer friend who let me know that Planoly doesn't compress the images as much, so you get the actual quality of the image that you post.
Yeah,
that's my issue. Like, I'm very picky about how the images, how crisp they are, and if they lose quality like that, first, it just really bothers me. So that's why I just stuck to doing manual. But Planoly seems to be the way to go to not lose image quality and post. And then the other thing is I go in and I always do my hashtags in the first comment, and I tag things, and I tag. So for me, it's like I just do it manually and get it all done.
Yeah, I do too. I'll go back over there because I know what time they're going to post, and I know it's a little bit extra, but what else am I doing right now?
Right?
I may change my mind when we're all like let loose again. But right now it's not really a big deal.
Yeah, for sure.
That's funny. What did Becky say here?
She's saying that she switched back to later from Creator Studio because it was glitching out on her so bad.
Yeah, see, so I mean, I guess you just have to try it on your own and see what works and what doesn't work.
Yeah, some things, and that just happens often. Like, some things work for some people and some don't. So you have to just figure it out, which is what my answer to a lot of questions are about social media these days. You gotta try it. Just figure it out.
That's so true. I mean, because every time you think you have it, it changes
It
again.
changes, right?
So, there is a lot to stay on top of it, and you
Yeah.
are always doing testing to see what works,
Yeah.
and what doesn't work. So
Absolutely. I had someone I was live with, this lady Katarina, and she's a course creator. She helps people create courses. So I was live with her, and she was asking about, we were chatting about social media strategy, and I'm like, unfortunately, there's like not a formula. She's like, oh man, we were waiting for a formula. I'm like, that's what makes it hard, is that there is no formula.
yeah.
So different. I think maybe 10 years ago you could have put a formula together, but it's not how it works anymore.
No, 10 years ago, it was awesome. Whatever you posted, everybody saw, and the engagement was great. And it was easy to start a business on Facebook 10 years ago. It really, really was. It wasn't that hard. And I kind of laugh because I remember, and I know I've shared this before, but there was a digital marketing company who wanted me to hire them when I did this, when I had that small business out of my home. And they said, nobody will ever take you seriously if you're on social media. And now they proclaim to be social media experts. I'm like, I know the truth.
Right?
I've been on this longer than you. I know the truth.
That's
You're not. but no, it's kind of funny.
I know there's so many things that have changed and so many things that haven't, but a big one is that now there's like no one size fits all, and that's why I'm like, you just either have to work with someone or you got to put a lot of time into testing or hire someone, because it's just not as easy as put this little formula in and get a good.
No, not at all. And you actually really do need a strategy. There has to be a purpose to what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to teach us, at least on Instagram, what that purpose.
And then, I mean, the things that we'll talk about, you can apply to the different social media networks, but, I want to just drive home that it's all about getting the messages. You want to get the messages, whether it's Facebook, LinkedIn, wherever you're on. You have to look for more than just likes and followings. And, we see that a lot with clients. They're like, oh, but we didn't get any followers. I'm like, great, but what was the website traffic like? Let's look a little deeper, because I know lots of people who have hundreds of thousands of followers and they don't make $1, and people with like 500 people and they're making a lot of money. So it's all
about I agree. It's not it's the quality. It's the quality of what you're doing. So we're going to wrap this up, but before we do, TikTok. Have you done it yet?
I love it so much. It's so fun. It's so addicting. I spend way too much time on it. I did create a video, but then I don't know what happened with the sound, and so the sound stopped working, so I took it down. It wasn't a dancing one. It was like I was pointing and like the little bubbles would pop up. It was now it's gone. But I do love it. I think if your business is, I saw this one brand from Puerto Rico who does like popsicles, ice popsicles, and they were doing such an amazing job. Like, they were funny. They were all based on the popsicles, all their TikToks. We're talking about when you get lost from your tourist group, but then they find you and you're like eating their popsicles. It was cute. It was so funny. So I think if you're already creating video, definitely check it out. It's so awesome. But it's also great for entertainment, because when I was all anxious, I just get on the TikTok and like forget about the world for an hour.
Yeah, I have a friend who has been getting, she just is a time suck with TikTok, and she will send me all these videos. She just can't stop laughing. She's just having a blast with it, and it is fun. It is fun to watch.
At least check it out. At least get on there as a joke, and then you'll see that you will also be to the world.
Yeah.
It's like I said, if you're doing videos already, get in there. If it's not going to make sense, I think it will be very time consuming. So if that's not where you excel, then maybe that's not the network for you. It also tends to skew a little younger. There's a ton of doctors and lawyers on there, and police officers, which is very interesting.
That is interesting.
So many doctors, like all types of doctors. It's very cool.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to spend more time on there. I said when this all happened, I was going to be on TikTok, and my kids said, please don't.
There are some fun, like over 30 TikToks.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're so good.
So yeah, I may do it, and then I can always, threaten them that I'll like release it.
Do it. I think everyone should at least check it out. There's really great content ideas on there. Just look at some big brands that are doing it, because they're nailing it. Like I said, I think it's time consuming. So if that's your thing, then don't spend your time doing that. But if you're already creating videos and you have a knack for it, use it.
Awesome. Well, Dariana, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you
so
for
much
having
fun
me.
always talking to you, of course.
So every time, I know.
Every single time. No, so thank you. And send me I have the link. We'll be sharing also. I'll share it with everybody, and I look forward to being part of your workshop and learning from you. So
21st, I'll see you there. I mean, I know we're chatting in between, but yay.
Yes. We are. We're chatting again tomorrow. But offline. We're doing our mastermind offline tomorrow. So. All right, girl. I will see you, and thank you again.
Thank you for having me. Bye, everyone out there.